What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles, welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Figure Files. This is early. It's not the normal Thursday Night Live. It's just so much stuff going on. I needed to get some of it out before tomorrow's show. So let's get into it. First off, we got the official proclamation, the big reveals of the Ahsoka Black Series figures. So excited about this. Typically, I'm not grabbing every figure from a Star Wars Disney Plus show, like Andor, like 4 or 5 that I want. Kenobi, more like 3 characters I really want. But with Ahsoka, I'm pretty much going to get everybody because the show's been awesome so far. Doesn't have that secret invasion thing where by the 3rd episode, I'm like, oh, I don't know. This show doesn't seem like it's going to be awesome. That's not been the case so far with Ahsoka. I'm all in. Seems like I'm going to be all the way in with all these figures. So far, what Hasbro has revealed so far, what Hasbro has shown so far, let's try that again. It's been really great, really cool. I'm excited to add them to my collection. In my mind, I'm already reconfiguring my Star Wars Black Series collection. I've got my Clone Wars series up top because hopefully I'll keep adding more destroyer droids, more super battle droids, and battle droids that actually can stand up on their own for a change, maybe just with the help of a stand, and have a massive collection to go with the rest of my Separatist army versus the Jedi and the Clone Army. And then, of course, I've got my offshoots. I've got the Rogue One display coming together. I'm finally starting to review these figures. I've had them way too long, waiting around, sitting for me to finally free them from their chambers of plastic. So you see I've got most of them done, shot, and all that good stuff. That means it's just time for Bodhi to come up, get his time in the spotlight, and I will have them all set up. So I've got that display I'm working on. I've got my Clone Wars Season 7 with the Bad Batch Ahsoka and her clones, Darth Maul and his Mandalorian loyalists. Got a lot of stuff happening with the Star Wars display. I should probably take a shot so you can see the work in progress it is going to continue to be because it's just so much stuff. Anyway, let's take a look at these Ahsoka figures. First off, I'm going to recap of what we've already seen, what we know is coming. And this is the Vintage Collection Sabine. And I'm pointing this out because this figure is $27.99, which is a crazy price point to me. And it looks like the only really addition that we're getting with this figure, outside of the great decal, the paint applications, the helmet that comes off, her lightsaber, her blasters, the whole Mandalorian gig, is a Lothal. And that's pretty cool. I mean, that's almost worth the price of paying for this set, even though I know the Lothal is going to be super small compared to Black Series figures. But if this actually is sort of scale, then it can kind of work. Maybe I'll have it as a Lothal kitten. This might be worth grabbing. And then, of course, we get the Black Series to be great head sculpt, really nice likeness to the actress. Her armor looks really good. It's a Mandalorian suit, so you know they can't botch that. But it doesn't look like they're using the same Bo-Katan, Cosca Reeves mold, so that's really encouraging. New molds we can use for different Mandalorians in case we just don't care about this version of Sabine. That's great. She's got all the detail you'd expect. Lightsaber, still not quite sure if I'm feeling Sabine's Jedi journey just yet, but this is more my Sabine, just missing that jetpack. So hopefully we'll see that included at some point. But really loving the work so far with Sabine. She looks cool, and I'm enjoying her storyline so far. And of course, the big attraction for me with these deals, the mural artwork. And this shouldn't be the case. It should be a thing where this side of packaged artwork doesn't do anything for me, but it's really getting me with these series. And of course, there's Hera, and she looks really good as well. Don't need to break down her whole thing, but here she is in the mural display setup, lacking in terms of accessories. Only has that blaster, kind of what you'd expect from Hera, but she looks good as well. And then reveal that we kind of knew was coming, but Chopper's back into the line. This is just his Star Wars Rebels figure coming back out for everybody who missed out on him. There are a couple figures from Rebels that are super expensive, and Chopper is definitely one of them. So it's great for everybody who missed out on a really fun figure. This base with this jetpack exhaust or jet base exhaust is great. You can actually stand up on it pretty well without toppling over every few minutes. This is the infamous leg. If you've seen that episode of Rebels, you know exactly the significance of that. And a great job with Chopper. Not loving that $25 price point, but at this point, what can you do? Then, of course, we've got the title character herself, Ahsoka. Not again, not a lot of overwhelming accessories. I really wish this figure had come with the poncho because that would have been something new to add to the regular Black Series figure that we basically already got with the Mandalorian wave. So we get her, and this is a really nice figure. I love the articulation scheme. These knees may look kind of bad, but she can strike some really great poses. And the detail work is great. It's a really nice sculpt. I just wish they'd add that poncho just to give her a little extra value. But a really good figure and something I'm really happy to have in the collection, of course. Now we get on to these new reveals with the glamour shots. We saw some really fuzzy images, but now we get the full on. Here's what they look like. Here's the mysterious Merrick. And really great detail. I always find it funny with some of these where you can't see all this detail from the show. You can just kind of make out some of it, but here with the figure, we really get to see it. So we got this dry mud, metal, whatever's going on, rust with the armor. Really nice look for him. That helmet really stands out nicely. The paint decals here, paint detail. I don't know why I keep saying decal. I mean, not in the 80s anymore. I don't have to put stickers to get my figures some accessory details. But anyway, he really looks good. Looks like another cloth cape. That's good. This is removable, so you can put him in full, him or her, because we don't really know for sure who's underneath here. But I really like the look of this figure. The Inquisitor lightsaber is, of course, back in action. And I love the scuffy paint details on this armor. Really nice looking figure. I'm definitely going to get Merrick. Merrick's been really cool in the show so far. I don't really care about the reveal. Merrick could just be Merrick for all I know. But I love the fact that there's a removable cape, claw cape finally. So this is something we can put on and off as we need to when he's fighting in that jet pilot. Maybe that's something they could do as a Black Series vehicle, because those ships that he and Shinhatsu are fighting in aren't that massive and big. So I don't know if it needs to be a HasLab, but maybe something that they could put out for us, because I would love that. And then there's some speculation, some rumor that this very tiny small piece here is the foreshadowing that the next figure in this mural is Balin's skull, which would be cool, of course. I love Balin. I think he is a really cool character. And you know, these bad guys in Ahsoka are just great, and I'm loving every one of them so far. Then next up, we get Ezra Bridger, and Ezra is one of the main heroes from Rebels. It's nice to see him in more of a live action take. This is definitely a better, one of the issues I've been having with these Rogue One figures is their articulation is a little bit dated. Not a problem here. Looks like he's got some butterfly shoulder joints here so he can move up a little bit better. He's got the wrist hinge here so you can see that, so he can reach for his blaster or his lightsaber. That's really nice. I like this head sculpt. We got a little face damage there, some scratches on him. He looks like he's seen some better days, but it's our boy Ezra back in action. And best of all, he's in the season 4 look for Ezra, and that's really cool. I wonder if this is one of those cases where they could do more of a cartoon as an adult kind of thing. I know they skewed the line really well with the first wave of Rebel figures, but I don't know if this is more actor likeness or kind of like, hey, this is kind of the middle ground between the two. Anyway, really happy to see Ezra at least mentioned enough to get a figure. Hopefully we'll actually see him in the series, because I really liked Ezra. And so we got him. I really love the posability, even in these pictures. So that's good. It looks like this whole holster, I guess, on his side is not going to impair or hinder his articulation. He can spread out just wide enough for a Jedi or a Jedi in training. So that's really cool. Getting Ezra in the line this early. Very good. Again, he's another $24.99 figure, but what do you expect at this point? Now we have Professor Hu Yang, and just such a great addition. This is a character I can throw in there with my Clone Wars display or my Ahsoka one, depending on which one needs the space. So I love this sculpt. You can see the detailing on his chest plate here. It's got some dings and divots into it. Really nice work. This belt has a ton of detail, and it's got that leather-like appearance, so you can see the worn elements of it. Very cool. His skirt piece also has that. So he is a really nice looking droid all around. And I think they did a great job. He actually has some accessories. This is something we don't always get with every Black Series figure. But he's got his arms and these will actually articulate so they can pull up a little bit more, maybe hold a lightsaber if you need to. That's cool. I'm not quite sure if this is one of those parts he was using when he was testing Sabine to gauge her accuracy with the lightsaber, but nice to see that included as well. He's got his data pad just to pull up some old Jedi artifact information. I love his head sculpt. It shows so much detail and character and personality with him. And it just kind of, you can almost hear David Tennant spamming off some more Jedi facts that no one wants to hear about. So, really cool. My only worry, of course, with any droid now, this K2SO has scarred me for life, is will he be able to keep his weight? Now, he's pretty thin all around, so he shouldn't be a domino destroying everything on the display. So, I hope that these feet are bigger or thicker enough to create a nice foundational base so he's not toppling over and taking everything with him. But otherwise, he looks like he can hold some really good poses. That's encouraging. So can't wait to grab Hu Yang into the set as well. And you can see his arms in action here. So he's like the opposite of General Grievous. He's a nice, friendly, if not stuffy, and overly honest droid, but really like him. Like to see the window package, of course, but just all those accessories. So that's great for this line. Then I've got HK-87, the assassin droid. I do like the red. Maybe Tomax and Zaymont hired him out to join their Crimson Guard, which is never ending at this point. But yeah, it's nice red. Maybe it could use a little bit more weathering and like damage and maybe some more silver like we see right here. A little bit more scraping because, you know, what do they care about the quality of their droids? Another cloth cape. That's always good to see. I wish there was something to darken up this visor piece here, but a lot of detail in this sculpt, so that's great to see. And this red does help stand out a little bit more, pairs better with Morgan and the other characters. I don't know how many of these I'm going to get because this spindly leg things could be another issue. Not sure about those ankles. They seem like they're topple heavy. I am upset at the fact that he just comes with a blaster and no staff so he can actually go toe to toe with Ahsoka and eventually Sabine. But a really nice silhouette here with this helmet, the cape off to the side, sort of like a Shazam / Captain Marvel style. I like the look, and hopefully he's stable enough because I think this is a really nice looking figure. And got the blaster so you can go to war on that end too. But if he can stand, I think this will be a useful character to add, maybe just like 2 or 3, but it's a really nice looking figure. And if I can jury rig or figure out something that will work well for a staff form, that'd be even better. But another strong addition to this Ahsoka line. And Hasbro really outdid themselves with this one. I feel like this is a set that they really did a nice job with. And I don't think I showed you this one, but here's that side shot. Looks good. Can't tell who he's next to. I don't remember in the lineup who he's next to. Then we've got the final member of this wave, Morgan Ellisbeth. And, you know, I was looking at this figure like she's not going to have any movement whatsoever. But this head sculpt is fantastic. I mean, this likeness is really, really sharp. And some Black Series figures is kind of like, I kind of see where you're going with it, but not quite close. Casting would be a great example, but Morgan really, I mean, that head sculpt is fantastic. You can see the detail here on her outfit, the layered robes. That's really nice. The wraps here on her sleeves, also phenomenal. And there's a little bit of a wash here on the front of her tunic, so that's really nice. Then she's got this device here, this clasp, that looks a little gold, so that's cool as well. But nice work on this figure. And in the live stream, Hasbro mentioned that we will see some movement because this is 3 parts. This section here is 1, and we got 2, 3, so she can move. It's not a case where she's going to be a shell like Mon Mothma from Andor. So that's encouraging. I think they did a pretty nice job on her hair. Maybe they're a little bit more black in there, but I think otherwise, really nice work here. But the only thing, and you can see this does a really nice job of showcasing her articulation and movement. It's not cloth, but it functions in a way that it may as well be. Now, she's not going to be able to sit down, but it's good because she can still move and carry around and do some stuff as opposed to just sitting, hopefully not toppling over through the weight of her skirt. But really nice photos, really nice shot of her, and you can just see that smug sense of superiority on her, and I think that is phenomenal. Then we get another deep stance just to show off that articulation a little bit better. So that's really, really exciting. And this shot here, really nice. I just wish they'd come up with some accessories. I don't understand how with a $25 figure, it's like, that's it, y'all. I mean, this may have been a perfect opportunity to throw a staff in there. She fought Ahsoka in Mandalorian with a staff. And I know in Ahsoka, she hadn't had any weapons so far, but come on. That's just kind of inexcusable to have a figure with absolutely nothing in the bubble. No swappable hands, no alternate head sculpt. That's really weird. Quite the choice. I mean, I think this has been a perfect opportunity for a hand that channels her witch powers and maybe a base like when she arrives just to channel the nap. I mean, just there were some art, some accessory options they could have gone with, and I'm a little bit disappointed in the sense that she didn't come with them. So maybe, even though I really love the sculpt and I think the figure is phenomenal, I think Morgan's probably going to be a figure I'm going to wait till she has a couple of bits of rounds of clearance or sales, because that's not a $25 figure. So hopefully it won't be too long before we see a better deal for her, because it just feel like, come on, guys, we never need to have a figure where it's so ridiculously lacking in the accessory front, especially now. I mean, we made the progress, we got better head sculpts, the articulation looks really good, and it's a show that people are excited about. So let's not have till the accessories, the execution. Let's just keep nailing them out. So far with the lineup, and just from a few episodes of Ahsoka, we already know there's at least two more characters, Baylan and Shin, that we need figures of. And of course, they're not going to deny us those characters. I think Hasbro does a much better job in terms of completing teams and knocking out the essential looks for characters in these TV shows. Now, the prequel trilogy might be lacking in terms of way too many characters, but for these Disney Plus shows, they've done a really good job in terms of, hey, you like this look, you like this character, we're going to knock them out in figure form for you. And there's some pipeline reveals, not a lot of stuff that I was looking forward to, because it's like the Black Series are like, yeah, stay tuned. And I just don't understand why we have to wait so long for cool, interesting Black Series notes. On the vintage collection front, though, we're getting a new Luke Skywalker in his X-Wing pilot suit. That's really encouraging, really cool to see. Getting a new Princess Leia. I feel like that's something a lot of people have been clamoring for a long time now. So we'll see what else is coming from the vintage collection. But I really was hoping we see some more Black Series reveals. I mean, these live streams don't happen every day, so it's kind of cool when we get some news like, hey, you guys have been asking for it, here's some figures coming your way. So we've got a new R2D2, a new version of Stormtroopers, Jango Fett, Chopper, and that's just for everybody who's back in the Ghost and wants an official Chopper, not the half rendered or half Chopper that's in the Phantom, I think. And we're getting a new Captain Rex and a new Darth Vader. So lots of worthwhile figures added to the vintage collection. In terms of, and then there are two more. There's the HK-47, because they cleared everything on those droids with this lineup from this live stream, and a new Jedi Revan. That's really cool. But in terms of the Black Series, all we got is Hammerhead. So that's cool to get him. Maybe they could release a Jedi so we can get that Jedi. I don't even know what the race, this species are. Hammerhead. That character is really cool from the cartoon. And we're getting R5, D4, and 2 pit droids. It's a Target exclusive. That's a 3-pack. I don't really know if I feel like that's a great bargain or great deal, but it's a Target exclusive. So worst case, eventually we'll see it on clearance. But anyway, lots of exciting reveals from the Black Series figures, from Ahsoka. Still not a lot more from the prequels, the Clone Wars, that I really want to see, or Rebels, now that we're starting to get in some more of those characters as they're getting a spotlight from Ahsoka. So hopefully we'll see some more, because there's plenty of looks, plenty of characters still from Rebels that need figures, personal line figures I'm talking. So hopefully we'll see them. Anyway, what did you guys think about all these reveals? Let me know in the comments. And of course, I'll be back tomorrow with the full-on Thursday night live stream. We can talk about all this stuff, including the McFarlane DC Multiverse, new reveals, some Marvel Legends news, teasers, some more reveals of the MCU figures, ton of stuff. It should be a really packed show. Hopefully you'll be able to make it and hang out with me tomorrow at 8:05. For now, that's the end of this episode. This episode of Lyle's Figure Files has been filed.